So what are we doing here?
We're gonna film this podcast. We're gonna ask each other some questions.
Yep.
This is so we've each come up with 10 questions that are somehow disc dogging related or adjacent in some way, shape, or form. And so we've each come up with 10 questions. Both of us do not know the questions that the other has come up with. So it's blind questions.
And we're both going to answer each other's questions.
Yes, we're both going to answer. So if you wrote your question, you probably secretly want to answer it yourself.
Right.
Is that the deal?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think you should start.
Oh, I should start.
Yeah, since it was your idea.
Was it my idea?
Yes.
Aren't they all my ideas?
Yeah. Everything's your idea.
Okay. I'm going to laugh when our questions are like so mismatchy and mine are like serious and yours are like stupid.
Oh, so here's the first question. We almost forgot. How many of these questions do you think are going to be the same between us?
Yeah, yeah, that's right. I don't know. I kind of think that we're not going to have any the same.
I think two.
Okay.
I don't have any idea which two.
And then what happens if it's just one? Who wins then?
Jeez.
We're just going to call it a draw.
Yeah.
If it's just one. But I guess if it's like 7 questions of the same, then you're closer.
Yeah.
If it's 0, then I was right. Okay. Well, watch it be 1. Okay. So I'll start. So what would you say to a newer or like maybe intermediate level player or like a player that's breaking into like the advanced level? Somebody that's motivated and interested in disc dogging, but is intimidated by the highest level of players and how to navigate that. I wrote it vague so you could kind of interpret it as you will. So you just interpret that however you want an answer.
I think the first thing is, it might be multiple things I might have to answer on that, a couple different ideas, because I haven't thought it through. So this particular one, I might have a couple different types of answers.
Okay. But
I think first, certainly respect all those competitors and enjoy watching them so that you can get better yourself, because if they're better than you, there's a reason why, and it's because they've been practicing. But I think the big thing is get out there and practice your throws. And if you do that, that's going to give you more confidence and you're just going to be better. That's my answer.
What about I don't know. Should those players be like afraid to approach those?
No, I think ask the players maybe not right between rounds or when they're going to be real busy, maybe after the competition, or maybe even message them on Facebook and ask them what they have been doing to improve and how they got to where they are, because that's going to help you.
Yeah, that's good.
What's your answer?
Yeah, let's see. I wrote some of mine down because I'm bad at blind questions. I hate surprises and being blindsided, which how stupid of me to come up with this idea. But let's see. What did I say? I think like we've been doing it so long, it's kind of hard to remember what it's like in the beginning of the sport. So to me, I'm like kind of comfortable going up to anyone, like, no matter their level or whoever, and I'm not really like afraid or like nervous in the respective like disc dog levels, right? Like I don't feel intimidated by competitors that are like at the same level. You know what I'm saying? So I guess my thought is like, we're all just people playing Frisbee with our dogs. And and just because somebody's really good doesn't mean they're like super scary necessarily.
Right. And I think that
even though I might look a little scary now.
I don't really approach, most of the people who are really good, I already know because they've been out for a while. But I wouldn't feel any different with a new competitor versus somebody who's been around for a long time. I would approach them the same way for me because like what you said, I'm comfortable. So I'd probably feel pretty much equal, whether it was someone newer or maybe someone out of town that I haven't seen. I don't know, but they're really good. I would have no problems walking right up to them and just start talking to them. I might do it a little bit more with a newer competitor, maybe just as like a little something to help them a little bit.
Usually if I see like a new face, especially at our local events, like it's pretty much the same people all the time. So when somebody new shows up, it's usually pretty obvious, especially if they're doing freestyle. we've had a couple people that have just shown up and like done freestyle. And it was like kind of surprising, which I love it because I'm like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. Somebody's interested in doing freestyle. And I've always made it a point to try to go up and make some kind of connection with them and hope that we kind of like hook a line and sinker them into the sport.
Okay, so you ready for mine?
Yeah.
Okay, my first question is, are borrowed dogs okay? Yes or no?
Oh my gosh, you just want to stir the pot.
No.
You know what?
This sounds like a good podcast idea.
Yeah, I think this is going to be another episode.
But so like this isn't the long explanation. This is just if you think it's okay or not.
Short. Let's keep it short because we could do a whole episode on this. Last weekend I set a distance record with Cheeky for Skyhounds. Your dog, Cheeky.
Which is my dog.
So what does that tell you? What do you think my answer is?
I'm guessing you're going to say it's fine.
There's no rule against it. The only organization that has a rule about borrowed dogs at this point in time is UFO. And they say that you can, if any of your dogs are borrowed, then you're limited to 4 dogs total. If they're all your own, like if you have 10 dogs that are yours and you want to sign up, go do it. That's the only one that has a rule. None of the organizations have a rule.
Yeah, and I think there's going to be a lot that we'll talk about, but
what's your answer? I want to keep that one short because we gotta save some talking for the other episode.
My answer, I'm not even going to say yes or no. I'm just going to say bring out as many dogs as you can if you think you can beat me.
Okay, in distance.
I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is.
Okay,
I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
I don't do distance.
I think that's a fair challenge. Okay, watch all the people with borrowed dogs come out now. Okay, my next question. So, being from California, most of the time the finals are not close to us unless they're actually in Southern California, which is rare. We usually spend a lot of time on the road, right?
Yes.
So what helps you get through the long drives? And this may help our fellow friends out there that do a lot of road tripping or even flying. What gets you through the long drives?
Well, I guess there's 2 things. One is music. So it's a little bit of like entertainment kind of thing,
Okay.
But then the other thing is I drive until I'm completely exhausted. And whenever I stop, I just go to sleep.
I feel like that's bad advice.
I'm not saying it's good advice. I'm just telling you that's what I do.
Wait, advice,
is this supposed to be advice or what do I do?
No, it's not advice. No, it's not advice.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not giving any advice. It sucks.
This is not driving advice. This is like how people have to say this is not financial advice.
Right.
This is not driving advice.
I go until I can't do it anymore, and it's one day after the other of that, and then I get to the competition, and then I compete. And as soon as I'm done competing, I jump back in the RV, and again, I drive until I can't drive anymore, and it's awful. So, no, I don't suggest doing it that way. I suggest living really close to every single world championship.
Yeah, so move. So if you're far away, move closer. That's the advice you could take. I do the same thing too, but it's challenging. For sure. I try not to do it if I don't have to.
I always have to.
But you always have to. Yeah, you always have to.
I got to get back as soon as I can.
I know. Well, I've had times. Yeah, last year it was crazy. Oh, so I was going to ask you, is there specific music that keeps you going?
It's got to be.
Or is it like okay, so what I wanted, I guess, let me narrow it down. So is there specific music that like you're feeling tired and you're like, I need to wake up and go? And like, do you change the song for
Absolutely.
that?
I'll put on the heaviest metal that I can get, some Slipknot or something like that, because that's a good point. You can't just put any music on because some of it, a lot of the stuff I like will start making you doze off. So it's got to be fast paced, in your face kind of stuff that, you can't help but move.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So so for me also music, and podcasts, but my specific music, it's like Dragon Force or Avenged Sevenfold, and it's like wake up, let's go. Like that's my wake up music.
Fast.
Yeah, that's my wake up. But like those 2 bands specifically. I mean, maybe some Megadeth, maybe some other stuff, but those are like the 2 that I'm like teetering on the edge, and I'm like, oh God, help me. Somebody help me. Yeah. And then, M Shadows, help me. So, and then the other thing that I do that I know that you don't, I sort of knew a little bit the answer to that since we've done several trips together, long drives. My other one that I do when we're not driving together is podcasts. And so my like go-to things, like if I'm like, usually I save it for the end of the day or like the end of the trip, like when I'm really waiting. And one is Smosh Reads Reddit Stories, which is not really a podcast, but it's kind of turned into one. But I don't know if you know Smosh. They're one of the OG big YouTube group thing. Now it's become like a group. It started out with 2 guys, and now it's like a whole, all the millennials like it. So anyway, they read Reddit stories.
I've seen that once. I don't know.
I probably sent you some because some of the stories were so bad. There was one I listened to that on the way home from PIDC this year. I had to pause it because I couldn't stop laughing. Like there was one story that I was like, this didn't happen. There's no way. And then the other one is Sid and Olivia's podcast, which is better than ours because it's funnier. But dude, I was driving home from Paso. I almost hit somebody because I was crying. I was in tears, and it was raining, and I was in tears, laughing so hard. And yeah, so I would recommend those.
Listen to our podcast.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What am I thinking?
Yeah, here's our real advice. If you want to stay up, watch our podcast. Okay. Sorry, enough on that one.
What could make our sport better right now? One thing, just whatever pops to mind.
Oh my gosh. Geez, this is a hard question because I feel like a lot of those things have happened, like more events or like more casual events or easier events. I do think that there needs to be something more for freestyle, and I don't know what it is. Like, and I know people have said this idea before, but it's like sort of like toss and fetch league, but for freestyle, or something to grow freestyle. Because I think what's happened is all the games has exploded, like the Updog games, the Distogathon games, those are huge. And I think less people are willing to dive into freestyle.
And league also is really big.
It is really big.
And all of these things don't involve freestyle, right?
They don't. And I think that is really the way to grow the sport is through the games, because people want to try them. I think it's a little bit more of a hurdle to get them out there to do freestyle. And before, the other option was toss and fetch. So I think toss and fetch is still, the biggest ever, right? But I don't have a solution, though, for this off the top of my head with this blind question. But I think something to give more focus to freestyle or make it more easy. Because what I hear from people all the time is that it's difficult to get into, or it's intimidating, or like they feel like they have to have like a whole polished routine. And I always tell people, like, no, like, I mean, Torch played as an old man, and I just like toss discs in his
and mouth. I still play as an old man.
There you go. So. And you toss discs in your own mouth, right? So, yeah.
Okay, so the first thing that popped into my mind when I came up with the question, so I didn't really think it through. It's just the first thing, and that it's also freestyle related. Shocker! Gee, we're going to talk about improving the sport. It's always going to be freestyle with us, right? So. For me, it is we need new blood at the World Championships for judges, especially at the World Championships or any really big events. We've had in many cases the same judges for 40 years or whatever, and it's got to end. I'm just being honest. We need new people. All of the World Championships should get rid of all the judges they've had and start over fresh. And it's not because there's anything wrong with those judges. So they're going to
get rid of you because you judged last year?
Perfect example. I want new people. I want new ideas. I want something to challenge me, because new judges, younger judges, maybe they don't have to be younger, but people newer to the sport. And most of those people are younger, but age doesn't really matter. But it needs to be people who maybe haven't been involved for the sport for 20, 30, 40 years. Maybe get some people that have only been involved for 5 years, 8 years, 10 years, something like that. That's what I think we need.
Okay, so I'm going to counter question that, even though I think that could actually be a whole episode, just that question. And what I want to know is, so how do you get younger, newer people when they're playing? They're already playing with their dogs at the championship.
Exactly.
What is the like logical, real life solution to this, where you can get newer, younger players judging world championships that actually have enough knowledge? Because we can find some intermediate people, but they might not know a backhand from a forehand, from a leg vault, from a back vault. You know what I mean? Like,
well, if 5 years in, you better know the difference between all that.
Yes.
Stuff.
Well, you would hope, but I'm just saying.
But and I'm not just saying just somebody who had been around for a few years and clearly doesn't know anything about the sport because they came out to 4 events. I'm talking about someone who just got really into it. So a great example is I don't compete in all the world championships. That's the first example. Not everybody competes in everything. So you can find somebody who is not interested in competing at the finals at a certain event that maybe they would go out and judge. That's one thing. The other thing, which I think was a way of thinking of it, is the people that are judging now that were also judging 30 or 40 years ago. Well, they weren't in the sport for 30 or 40 years. They had only been in the sport for maybe 10 years. I mean, when they started judging, they weren't.
Well, I would think 10 years would be more than enough to be ready to judge.
So maybe they were only in the sport for 10 years and have decided that they don't want to compete anymore. Can we bring these people back in to judge? Because we've known a lot of people that competed for maybe 10 years and we haven't seen them anymore. There's a lot of people. I don't want to name any names right now, but there's a lot that we know of.
That's locally, true. Oh, yeah, even locally. I know.
And that's going to be all over the country. There's going to be really hundreds of those types of people that have been in the sport for a long time. They probably just don't get asked.
That's true. Yeah, I think there are a lot of people that would like to be asked that haven't got asked, and they're not going to invite themselves to do it or whatever. Right. You know what I mean?
I happened to go back and ask like a local legend, I guess, but they were also a world finalist, and I think they were on the podium a couple times at the World Championships. And I just sent out a message to them, never met this person, and they said that would be awesome. It would be so fun. It's something that they find super exciting. So if I have a special place for a special judge to come in, I'm going to ask this person. And they competed for probably about 5 or 10 years, and they haven't done it since, and they've never been asked to judge.
Okay. You'll have to tell me who that is later. If you don't want to name drop. All right. This should be an easy question. What's your favorite freestyle song you've ever used? Across all dogs, everything.
Oh. My dogs?
Yeah. I mean, well, you play pairs with my dogs, right?
Before I forget, for Enzo, it was just Slipknot song because it's very aggressive and harsh, and I just thought it was awesome.
Enzo was
aggressive and harsh. Especially on the disc. But I think just the song that is just crazy good freestyle song is Blow, that we use for pairs with Sora. And I think
Eva Under Fire.
Eva Under Fire. It's just like a rock song.
20,000 songs called Blow.
Right. Well, I don't know, but it's a, man, I just tell you what, I just think it's perfect.
That's a really good freestyle song. Okay. I have, okay, so it's really hard for me to pick Emptiness Machine for Sora by Linkin Park, or One Last Thrill from Slash, Miles Kennedy
for Torch. That was really good.
That's like one of my favorite songs ever. And it was not well received by the general audience.
That sounds great.
Chuck came up after. Torch won with that song in 2013 UFO finals, and Chuck came up after and he's like, that is the worst song I've ever heard. And I'm like, I'm glad you think that, Chuck. I love it. It's one of my favorite songs ever. But that wasn't really why I stopped using it. I don't know. It was a little bit. It was just a touch fast. But I love that song. Also awesome. Real Big Fish sketch. That's pretty classic. Yeah. And then one time I did Number of the Beast with Flair, Iron Maiden. And I like that song a lot. It's not, I don't think that song really could fly at most events, but it was Halloween weekend, so I thought I could get away with it. And I did. But yeah, so those are some of my favorites.
So here's a great question for you.
Mm-hmm.
More controversy.
Oh God.
Do rollers belong in competition?
Oh. I think that no matter what, they're always allowed. You're not like it's not illegal to do
not
a roller.
Unallowed.
How many double negatives can I put in that sentence?
It ain't not unallowed, not
nothing,
never.
Never. Okay. No, I think that it's allowed, yes. Should they score points? Maybe in a separate division if you're going to have something intended for like puppies or old dogs or something. But I think, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, definitely not in the same world as air throws. That's for sure. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. The problem is that I'm caught between people that want to get in the sport and like go to an event and try it out, but maybe their dog's not catching yet, or they have like a puppy or an old dog or something that they're just like the puppy, maybe they're just trying to get field experience. But the thing is that either like no matter what, whether or not you get points, you can do it anyway. So Absolutely. To me, the points is really more of a handler thing, trying to like get a ribbon or an accomplishment or something on really a puppy that should just be trying to get experience. So like not putting the pressure. In some ways, it's kind of bad to give awards for rollers if the intention is really to just get new people out there with puppies. I mean, I tell people all the time that, you know, even if your dog's not catching yet, you can still come to the event. You can sign up. You can do rollers. You're not going to be eligible to win an award. You're not going to beat somebody whose dog can catch because you're not there yet. But it's kind of like, I feel like it's sort of like maybe doing jumpers and agility where, okay, my dog doesn't know all the contacts, but maybe I'll just go and I could do FEO in the standard agility with all the contacts and just, you know, get them used to the ring. And then I could do jumpers, which doesn't have any contacts. And, you know, maybe my dog knows how to go over a jump and through a tunnel or something. I don't know if that tracks, but I think that's kind of like a similar analogy.
So for me, absolutely 100% all the organizations should allow them. As far as I know, every organization on Earth does allow them.
There's nobody that says you can't do rollers.
And they should be scored accordingly, which is a 0.
What about in freestyle? What about in freestyle when you have a creative move that involves like a roller?
Go for it. And I'm going to give you a 0 because that's my prerogative because I'm a judge and I can score it however I want.
So, So, okay, what about the organization? There's certain organizations that specify you have to score the roller catch as a catch.
I will score it as a catch, and I think it's worth 0 points. It's like, okay.
It doesn't add anything.
If a dog, and I'm not saying this is equivalent, but if a dog does a huge giant vault, catches the disc, and lands on its head, you're getting a 0 for that also.
Well, that's
Now, those are fair. 2 completely extreme things, but just because your dog catches something doesn't mean you get any points for it. So just keep that in mind.
You want to know what my favorite roller is?
None?
No.
Oh, what is it?
So, do you remember that trick that Chris Cabral used to do where he'd roll it on the ground, but he'd like back roll it and then he'd kick it and then kick it up? It was awesome. That was like the cool. It's not really a roller because he actually kicks it into a throw.
Yeah, that is really cool.
I love that trick. So that's a cool one.
And when I say I score you a 0 on it in freestyle, first of all, I don't remember the last time I even saw a roller in freestyle that I judged. I judged the World Championships. I'm pretty certain I didn't see a single roller across over 100 teams.
I think you probably saw a couple of people.
I think there's too many to remember, but what I do is I just say, well, you know, I don't care for it. Just like you didn't do it, basically.
It just doesn't add. It doesn't add anything. Doesn't add anything. Okay. Is that... Wait, I forget now. Turn. Oh, gosh. Jeez. Let's see. What would be your top tips or secrets to doing dropless freestyle routines? Because you're good at those.
Yes, I know exactly what it is. This is actually a very easy one for me to answer. It's not easy for somebody to do it, though. What I do is...
Yes, hence why I'm asking.
I've described this many times to people whenever I've taught, and not how to get a dropless round, but how your mindset should be whenever you're throwing to your dog. I look at it this way. Whenever I'm in my routine, I think of every single throw as if my life depended on it. Every single one of them. That I refocus on each throw. So from throw 1 to throw 2 to throw 3, I completely reset. And now my throw 4 that I'm on, now this is the most important thing I can do in my life at this moment. And then throw 5, and then throw 6. I reset every single time. Inside of my sequences, it might go do, do, do. I might have 3 throws that come out in just a few seconds, but each one of those I completely reset and refocus. And I imagine the disc going into the dog's mouth as I throw it at a certain angle and everything. And hopefully it all works out that way. And that is what allows me to be able to have routines. A lot of dropless routines. I mean, I do it very regularly with very difficult throws, but it's that mindset that I have. Other than the fact that I throw pretty good, I think the one thing that you can't see out there is my mind, and I'm just thinking I'm so laser focused on every single throw to make every one of them perfect. There's no filler. There's nothing like that. It's all, this is the most important thing I can do right now because it is. Just like whenever.
So you're playing very in the moment.
In the moment. Think about whenever you're doing toss and fetch, and every throw, you're putting all of your effort and thought and everything into it. I do that exact thing in my freestyle routine with each throw. And what about you? Because you've lately
we've had quite a few.
That must have helped you a little bit.
Did I ask you that question before or something?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, so my answer was, having a plan, having an exact plan, not a sort of plan or like, okay, I've got like, 4 sequences and then kind of a little this and here and there,
a little this and that,
a little this and that, here and there and everywhere and all over the place. No. Like you have the plan, like the alphabet, A, B, C, D,
gotcha.
E, like every single thing exactly to plan. And you have a plan for all conditions. So, if it's windy, like I would think of it like a flow chart. So like today, if the wind is, really heavy, are there any changes? Is there a backup plan? Like how does my exact plan change? So is there anything different that's going to happen? If it's raining, I had a foot vault in my routine one year that I learned does not. All right, next question. What do you think you've done that was different from anyone else in the sport?
I think a number of my throws and tricks I've done with the disc, I still have a bunch of them that I'm doing regularly that absolutely nobody has ever done. If we had a disc right here real quick, I'd do one right now. A real quick one right in front of you that no one does. There's a lot of them that I've done. I don't even have names for them. I usually call them, like one of them I just call it the magic trick because it looks kind of like a magic trick. A couple of them people kind of borrowed, which is totally fine. I have no issue. Whatever people want to do is fine. I just know I do them better because when I do them, it's going to be 100% a catch. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, all of the interesting things that I do. I've had so many people ask me how to do them, and I show them.
I think I've asked you some stuff to do, and I'm like...
Todd keeps asking me on this one trick. He's, how do you do that? I'm showing him, and he real slow motion and stuff. He's like, I'm just never going to get that,
That would be like me.
But yeah, that's what I think I've innovated or I've really pushed trick throws, really fancy, interesting brushes maybe. I don't even know how to describe some of the things that I do, but I could demonstrate them. They're pretty cool. And what about you?
Okay. So my answer is kind of like, I'm not trying, don't take this as like the people that came before me didn't practice, because that's not what I'm saying. But I think that some of the stuff that I've done, like sort of, how do I describe it? I don't know if gamify is the right word, but like the extreme practice, because I think our sport came from a place of we're chilling, we're on the beach, we're having a beer while we practice. I'm going to take my dog to the park and we're just going to mess around for 30 minutes and try to come up with a trick. I think that's kind of like where the root of our sport came from. And I think that I really turned it into like an extreme practice event. I don't know how to describe my answer very well.
It is interesting because I think, like my previous answer, what I was describing with me looking at it as a sport, like really as a sport, as an athletic sport where you're throwing.
Yeah.
I'm in the same exact.
Yeah, I'm not saying. I guess that goes against my question, right? What did you do that was different? But I think there's just a very small group of people that are in that boat.
Totally agree.
And I think there was less before we started. There's more now, obviously, but I think the people that I don't know how many people were cross training. I don't know how many people were doing like, I was training other sports to learn how to train things for disc.
Something interesting is you said there's more now. I think it's retracting. I think there's less.
Oh, really?
I think it was improving, and I think the sport is now going downhill with that aspect of it because of all of these games where you only need to throw 3 feet.
Oh, okay.
I'm not saying there's zero skill involved with that, guys. Come on, don't get me wrong.
Well, there's strategies and stuff, and your dog has to drop, and there's more. There may be more training aspect to it than the athletic involvement of the human part.
Right. But that aspect, that athleticism, that ability to keep yourself strong and being able to throw a disc like we can, you don't need to do it in those games. You just don't. And those are becoming very popular. And the fact that rollers are becoming more popular. I went out to an event, and it was a league, and I went out there and I threw 4 rollers for my ancient dog, and he got every single one of them in the 40-yard zone. I don't practice rollers. And I said, I told everyone there, this is an example of why rollers shouldn't count for scores, because I didn't even try, and I got 4 40-yard rollers.
I should have done it with Spirit.
But anyways.
Spirit would have been good. Anyway, so I sort of asked this not really having my own answer together, but I just thought it was an interesting question.
It is. I think
I do awesome. Think that there was some push that I did in toss and fetch, which is funny because I hated toss and fetch and I was horrible at it, and it was like the bane of my existence. I'm like, I just want to do freestyle. I don't want to do toss and fetch. But I've never been. This is a whole other tangent that we should save for a different episode. But there are freestyle purists that believe that it should be separate from toss and fetch. I was never really in that boat. I was like, well, the overall champion has both. So
you might want to wait on that one.
Yeah.
No, you might want to wait.
Why? Is that your next question?
It's not my next question. It's on the list.
Oh, okay.
Let's move forward.
All right. Yeah, okay. Let's keep trucking along.
How long should freestyle rounds be? This would be an easy question. Just your opinion. How long should they be in competition?
I already know what you're going to say. Here's the thing. Okay, so I don't think it should be more than 2 minutes. I think we already have enough to do with 2 minutes. And it's a good 2 minutes is a good point of like anything past that. Most people, they're just going to start putting filler in after that. Mm-hmm. 2 minutes, you get enough time. 2 minutes versus 90 seconds. So here's my problem with 90 seconds is that I feel like there is some challenge lifted from 90 seconds of having a successful routine. I don't know how many routines that I've watched that were 2 minutes long, and the players were amazing. The routine was perfect for the first 90 seconds. In the last 30, it was like they forgot what they were doing. There was a miss, or there was multiple misses, or it just kind of like went to hell. And so I think there is a challenge in that last 30 seconds that you don't get in the 90-second routine. And I think it does separate teams a lot. Whereas in 90 seconds, you don't really have a lot of time to screw it up. Like once you've started, if you start off good, it's probably just going to hold the way through because it's going to be over so quick.
Well, the other thing to consider though is the 5 discs does make it tougher.
Well, yes, but your question was about the time, not the discs.
Absolutely.
So yes, I know the 5 discs makes it tough, but your question was about the time. So I set the disc number to the side for that question.
90 seconds.
Yeah, I know. I knew you were going to say that.
Next question.
Why? You just
I got nothing to elaborate on.
You hate freestyle? You want it to be over sooner?
No, vast majority, virtually all 2 minute routines I've seen have filler in them that I don't care for. All of them.
That's fair.
All of them. There's always extra stuff. People they need extra time to get their final sequences together. The disc by that point are all over the place usually, and
But that's what I'm saying. So to me, the challenge is that last 30. I guess that's what I like. I like that last 30 seconds separates people, because those that can't keep it together for the last 30. But I guess as a judge, I would probably like for it to be 90 seconds, because then everybody's going to rock it, and they only have 90 seconds to do it. And if it's a mess, it's only 90 seconds. It ends. Right? And then they're like, oh gosh, let me prep for the next round. I don't know. But yeah.
What do you got?
Oh, next question time. I forgot what we were doing. How do you balance life with the extreme amount of time that you've committed to disc dogging?
Oh, wow.
And this could be tough. Kind of a past question, because I know now is maybe the time split is a little different for both of us.
I think what I have always done is, for traveling to competitions and making time for those kinds of things, has always been difficult with work commitments. The same can go for, you could say, with practicing. It's so difficult, always trying to find time. What I have just decided to do in my life is disc dogging is my number one priority. And that's it. I make it my priority, even over work. I still get my work done, but whenever I have a competition coming up or something I got to do, I tell my company that, hey, I am going to go do this competition, period. It's not a discussion. I'm going to do it. And I'm not an a-hole about it, because it's just been understood when I need to do something, I go do it. But don't get me wrong, I'll be then working it up until midnight, 2 a.m. You've sending you message. You'll send me a message, and I'll say I'm still working, and because I'm going to get my job done.
The next morning, and he's still at the job site.
So I get my jobs done, but I always have time to practice and do anything I need to do.
Yeah, because you make time.
I'm going to make it happen. Yeah. It's number one priority.
Okay, so mine's similar. I mean, obviously, you make time. Nobody has time. You make time for stuff, right?
Oh, I guess I want to say one thing real quick. It's my life. It's not a hobby.
Oh yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too.
Sorry, I wanted to say that.
Yeah, no, because I'm glad you said it, because then I don't have to say it. I can just nod my head and agree. Okay, so I started as a kid, right? And I think that was an advantage for me, because I was just in school, and it was like whatever, I could go practice. Like, I didn't really have rent to pay, or a job to go to. Like, I just kind of had to go to school. And then, it's a lot different once, adulting happens, and then you have to do stuff. So I do think I was at a huge advantage to basically learn the sport as a kid and do a lot of my practicing as a kid, and that curve of getting better as a kid. I mean, I haven't improved that much in my skill level in the last 10 years. I improved way more from year 0 to year 10 than I did year 10 to year 20, right?
Yeah.
But so I was fortunate in that regard. But what I will say is that I gave up a lot of social things. I didn't go to the school dances. I didn't go to the movies with my friends. I didn't go out to bars drinking with people. I did it at home. No, but I give up a lot of social life, and now is the same thing. I mean,
this is our social life.
This is the social life. This is why
we're able to hang out all the
time. Yeah. So, that's just something to think about, I guess. So, if you want to make disc dogging a priority in your life. Unfortunately, that's kind of it's kind of like anything, right? Yep. You want to be good at something, you have to make time, you have to make it a priority, and you have to find what thing you're going to have to sacrifice a little bit to, fudge on that.
I remember one year we were at the Skyhounds World Championships, and was with us. Us three are talking. We're just hanging out, and we're talking about strategy. We're talking about this event, that next game that's coming up. I think it's at the Disc Dogathon. We're talking about changes we're going to make in our freestyle routine. We're talking about what the wind's going to do. We're talking about what time the event's going to be done, and we're just on and on and on. we're just going on forever. And then she's just sitting there taking it all in, and she goes, "Is this all you two can talk about?" Yeah. And I was thinking, well, first of all, we're at the World Championship, so if your thought is somewhere else, that if you're thinking about when you're going to get your car fixed or something like that, your mind is in the wrong place. That's what my first thought was. I'm thinking, we're at the World Championships. What else is there to talk about? But then I thought, well, this is all we talk about normally anyways.
That's not true. We're on the Megadeth movie, where we won't talk for 2 hours and we'll watch a movie about a band.
Okay, it's 90% of what we...
I actually don't think it's 90%. I actually think it's a lot less.
I think it's 90%.
I think that it's 80%. 75%. 75 to 80%. We talk about some other stuff sometimes, too.
Am I the next question?
I think you are.
Okay. This one, I don't know how to answer this one, but I want to hear what you have to say. Are there too many organizations?
Ooh.
Has it been watered down or something like that, or anything? Okay. There could be a lot of things you could think of, because there's a lot going on right now.
Yeah.
You can't go to everything and stuff like that. So what do you think about that?
Yeah. So I feel like I feel like we don't. There's a lot of people. The more events that there are, the more people are going to have to pick and choose which ones they're going to go to. I mean, it's gotten to a point where, most reasonable people cannot make it to every single event, unless maybe you happen to live by most of the finals or something like that. Mm-hmm. But it's really rare. There's not that many people that actually hit everything. I'm saying all the finals. But also just even traveling, I used to do more traveling, to go to the quads and stuff and just do that circuit. My traveling was just to go for the quads. And then they would usually have something with it, like an AWI or UFO or Skyhounds or something. But it's really impossible. You can't do that now. You can't go to every quad now. I mean, you could, but you can't. Most reasonable people with a job, most people cannot do that. And even if they did, it'd be exhausting, right? So in some ways, yes, it is a little bit watered down because you've got a lot of separation. On the other hand, there's a lot of people that, League, for example, that has hit people in local areas that they don't have to drive more than 30 minutes and they can still be part of the sport. So it's a hard question. My thought is that I do think in some ways, yes. Probably in more ways, yes, there are too many organizations than not. And not to say that, let's slash one away, but
right, yeah, I'm not suggesting that.
I'm not saying that.
I haven't even given my answer.
They're already there, right? But I do think it's gonna make it more difficult. Just like anything, when there's a product, if there's 10 of that product, not one brand's going to get all the customers.
Supply and demand.
So exactly.
So I'm glad you answered it that way, because that was my first thought. And then I had a different idea that there's another kind of issue going on, I think, where you go to these competitions, and let's say you're like freestyle, for example. Almost every organization basically has the same stuff. You got 4 categories. You have the dog, you have the team, you have the human, and then you have the overall.
It is basically all the same.
They're all based out of 40 points. And yes, I understand they're not all based out of 40 points. I know the Updog is based out of, I think, 100 or 50 or something like that.
Yeah, well, so is IDC. I mean,
but for the most part,
essentially the same thing.
The vast majority of them are 4 categories, and it's the same stuff. You don't even need to have a different routine for any of the organizations. You could just go do the same thing for all of them.
Isn't that kind of like saying agility is all standard jumpers in a game? Or 2 games.
Okay, but here's the thing that most people in agility just do 1 or 2 organizations. Right. They don't do all of them.
Right. And I think
I don't know anyone who does
that. May be where this is starting to go. Is what I hear more from people. Oh, I'm not going to that one because I only do this one and this one.
And that's how I am now. It's been the past few years, but this year especially, I've decided.
So it's even got you too. So.
And then there's another thing, like the toss and fetch. I'm sorry, they're all the same. Okay, yeah, slightly filled.
You pretty much got to throw to the same point.
You got to be able to throw 40 yards. And even in UFO, it's not 40 yards, it's 35 meters, and it's like 39
yards.
So whatever, it's still 40 yards.
It's basically the same throw.
And no matter what, even whether you have a bonus zone in the middle or not, you still want to throw it down the middle of the field, because if you're throwing off to the side, you might you're going to be wasting
USDDN,
distance.
you'll be out of the strip. At Skyhounds, you'll be out of bounds.
You always
want it to be in the
down
middle.
the middle. So I guess what I'm thinking is everyone just more or less is doing the same thing, even whenever they think they're not doing the same thing. Obviously, Skyhounds has the Disc-Dogathon and the extreme distance that they've added into it. That's different, and Updog has their games that's a little different. I'm thinking the core games, maybe there needs to be a revolution. The toss and fetch needs to be different, and maybe the freestyle, something completely different. And then you can have something different that you go to. Because now, if I'm choosing between organizations, I'm just like...
It's basically the same thing.
It's like the same thing. I'm just going to pick this one maybe because I get to have more opportunities to play it. If I pick something like USDDN, I get to play once locally and then once at the finals. That's not enough for me. I'd rather focus on an organization that I could do more with, like
and it's one dog at the finals.
And it's one dog. So yeah, I mean that's what I'm choosing. Is that I'm choosing this organization just cause there's not any great reason.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't have any suggestions at this point exactly, except
I agree.
Innovation, maybe. Anyways.
So what, you want to add another organization?
It's always changes. It's always time for change.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Good questions.
It's good and bad.
These are some good questions.
They are actually good. After I told you to think about yours for more than 5 seconds, you came up with some good questions. Let's see. What's the dumbest thing you've ever practiced for the sake of improving your skills? Like,
this is so easy for me.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
The nail delay. I worked on that thing for so long, and the problem was I kept hurting my elbow doing it because my elbow is already injured. It's still injured. It's an ongoing forever problem. It's never going to get better, but it would bother me, and then I would work. So I'd work on it for a month or two, and then it would bother me. I had to wait for it to recover, and then I'd work on it for a month or two, and I kept coming back to it. And finally, one day, I said, "I'm not going to be able to do it because my elbow won't let me do it." The nail delay. What about you?
Okay. Well, mine's sort of a different answer.
That's good. That means we have...
Well, okay, so mine's a different answer because you don't do this particular thing. So I knew that we wouldn't have the same answer.
Well, you don't do a nail delay either, so...
That's true. Yeah, but that's because I tried it and I gave up much sooner than you did.
And the thing is, I was making great progress. I was going to be able to do it. It was just, but as soon as I get to the point where I'm like, I got it, my elbow would not work for 2 months. And then I'd just start over. And anyways.
Mine is just standing in balance for the standing leg vault, just like lifting my leg up. And like, I always wanted to make sure that I had like a good platform that's one of the things I preach about vaulting. Like, you need to be a really, strong platform. Like, you can't really be like shaking and wobbling and, the dog's trying to hit a moving target.
So I did that too. You didn't think I did that?
You don't do the standing leg vault so much. Yeah, you don't do it so much now. You do it for dog catch.
Well, Bon's so tiny.
That's true.
That's the only reason I did it with Zen. I did it with Muse.
Oh, I guess you did.
Yeah, and I might be doing it with Chikiwatasi. She's kind of small, though.
Okay, but did you stand there like an idiot?
Yes. You know what? And so here's how
I don't know why I forgot that.
I mentioned this on a podcast once. I was talking about dedication. I used a wobble board and went on the wobble board. And wobble board has it's kind of like a half dome on the bottom and then a flat top.
I would do the bossy ball.
So I would stand on it with one foot and hold the other leg up, and I would do that for a minute or two. Well, I started out at a minute and I pushed it to 2 minutes, and I did it both legs. Even though I never do a vault off my right leg standing, so I stand on my left leg. I don't do that. I stand on the right leg and vault from the left.
Well, you don't want to just train one side.
I still did both equally just to keep them both where they needed to be.
I did both because I did the behind the back throw. Where Torch would vault off my right leg, you go the other way, but I did behind the back throw.
So that was part of my training before. I don't do it anymore. I don't need to. I did all that strength training and balance training and everything, and now it's like I could just stand there as long as I want in one foot.
I just know that when I was at the park doing that, like just on grass, I looked like a real dummy.
Oh, I did it at home. I did it on...
I did some at home,
I did not do it on a hard surface because with a wobble board,
sometimes I would stand there and balance and do the throw.
Nice. I did it on carpet. On carpet with the...
That's cheating. On carpet.
With the wobble board? That's really hard. Okay, so who would you like to do Paris freestyle with that you have not done it with? Putting you on the spot there.
Oh. Can Sora be my other human Paris partner? We'll throw to Flair.
This is a tough question for both of us because there's so many great players.
Do I have to pick based on the handler, or can I pick off their dog?
Just the person. There's no dog consideration. Just who would you like to play with? Who would be? And it could be any time in the past, present, future, whatever. It could be anything you can think of.
Okay. Let's see. I don't know. I feel like the problem is it's going to be my go-to answer that would be very like.
I know who it is.
You already know. Really?
Yes.
Say it.
It's Tracy.
No, it was Adrian Stolka.
Oh, great.
But Tracy would be a great one. Was that your answer?
No. Well, no, Tracy would be a great one. Hi, Tracy. She's probably watching.
I would like to. Well, now that you say that, maybe I should change my answer. I think it also depends on the dog we're playing with.
You got to understand, guys, there's so many.
If it's Link, Tracy and I are going to crush you all.
There's so many freestylers that we love out there. So, when we call out just one person, we could sit here and start thinking, oh, wait, what about that person? What about them? So mine is James Tang. And it's because I don't know him very well. I've talked to him just a few times. I like the way he plays. It's a lot like how I play.
Interesting.
Even though for pairs, I kind of like different. But for whatever reason, it's just like I think we would mesh. But there is going to be a wild card answer. And this is somebody I don't know at all. I've never talked to. And I don't know if he's playing anymore. And if I get the name wrong.
Do I know? I think I know who it is.
Okay, I want you to throw out the name.
What if it's wrong?
I was wrong.
I was going to say Matteo Godoni.
No, but that's actually a great answer because she knows how much I love his playing style. My answer, the wild card one is Paul Agnew.
Oh,
and this is somebody I've never talked to.
Okay.
Paul, if you're out there, if anyone knows him, I haven't seen him for a few years, so I don't know if he's still playing or not. I just saw him in person a few times, and I was thinking, it just looks like me, like out there doing the same kind of stuff. Like it just looked a lot like me playing again, a similar player. I still think pairs should be two different people, and yet I'm picking people that play like me. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Those are the two that came to mind. So,
interesting.
Kind of fun, huh? Okay, what's your next one?
Oh man, that's a fun question.
I could pick seriously like 100 freestylers.
Yeah, I know. Well, now that you got me going, you blindsided me with it because I could come up with a list.
And then if you think toss and fetch players that we'd love to play with, it's like the same thing. I could just start running down the list.
Oh gosh, that's a long list. Okay, so this one's kind of funny. Oh, maybe I should switch my. Well, I'll just go in order, but these are sort of in line. Okay, so if you were one of my dogs, which one do you think you'd be based on their skills, style of play, personality? Which dog of mine are you?
Oh my!
And we can answer what we think each other would be after too.
Any dog ever?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it could even be lucky. Like if you want to go for the Shih Tzu non-disc dog lazy route.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
Evie would be a good twist. Okay.
I think it's more fun to do disc dogs.
This is a fun answer because I'm going to pick a Sketch. And I think it's because we both are a little bit misunderstood.
What do you mean Sketch is misunderstood?
Well, Sketch sometimes, whenever he,
Sketch would not allow me to be misunderstood. Sketch was like, he's going to tell you.
Sometimes like he didn't get along with some other dogs and stuff like that. Like
he was great. He didn't want him in their face.
Well,
he's like, don't talk to me.
Okay, there you go. That sounds exactly like me.
But don't talk to me.
There you go. So I think
unless you're a pretty girl.
Also, our hair is both fluffy. I think it's.
If you get more grace, it'll be the same. It'll start being the same color.
God. And we both have like a medium bite.
What? What? How do you even judge that? What, if you like chew on your fork? Here, we're gonna do a fork test.
So who do you think I would have picked?
I was not who you would pick, who I would deem you as.
Yeah.
I was gonna deem you as Sketch, and so.
Oh wow, sort of same one.
Okay, well listen.
That's great.
Hold on. This is why.
We both have black hair.
That's not why. It's not because you look like him. Like Sketch is adorable.
Oh my! Okay, time for me to leave this podcast.
Okay. So the reason I thought Sketch is because Sketch is very precise, And he wasn't like he wasn't the flashiest dog. Not that you're not flashy, but I'm just saying like you're not out there doing a handstand. You know what I'm saying? You're not rolling around and stuff.
Your reason so is, I should have thought of that because
he's precise. Like was his thing, and he was very like, yeah, I don't know. He was focused. He was like laser focused, and he was precise.
You got to put the other part of there, which is Sketch was the best. I would say Sketch is the best dog I've ever seen. I'm the best player you've ever seen. That makes sense. I get it now.
That's not what I was saying. But okay, Sketch is the best dog.
Which one of my doggies then?
Oh, okay, so I think I would be Key. Because I think Key is like, she's like kind of crazy and she's a little bossy and...
Loud?
No, I'm not loud. That's the one thing we don't have in common.
What about the shit eating?
Dude, Sketch ate shit too when he was older, so don't even that's not even going to be a component into it, okay?
Yeah, and Key's was actually due to medication she had to be on, unfortunately. Yeah. It actually did cause her to just
and the difference is I should probably be on meds, but I'm not. No,
so there's another commonality.
No, so you know, and she's little and she's cute and
what are you saying about yourself?
Yeah, and then I think that like no. Oh my god. I think that you know, Key was specific about how she wanted it thrown and stuff, and then she was like, you know, she didn't want you clapping the disc, and she's like, no, I only want to use these kind. This is my specific thing. She was real specific about what she wants, and it's got to be her way, or she's not going to play.
Okay, and, so
you know, I have only child syndrome,
I would pick
so
Bon Bon.
And because she's also little and cute.
Because she's little. Because we get along.
She has red hair.
We get along so well. The hair color is usually even though mine's similar.
Sometimes my hairs look like geese colors, though.
You know, like she has like little mouth. You have big mouth, but you have you have like little hands. You know, like small. So
you're just saying because I'm short,
hang on,
and I have child-sized hands,
and you both are two of the best to ever do it.
Oh, well. What about Key? She's not the best. One of the best.
She's real good.
Okay.
Her career is cut short, unfortunately.
I'll remember that in pairs, and I'm going to drop one really far away just so you can go pick it up if I'm Bon Bon. Wait, should I was going to say, do we need to reverse this too? Like pick your own dog or whatever that you are, which just really quick.
Oh, for me, it's so easy. I'm Enzo.
Oh, okay.
Oh, my God.
You already know who I am.
And you are Sora.
Yeah, I'm Sora. Yeah, Sora and I are the same.
Okay, so
those are our twinsy dogs.
This is going to sound familiar. Do you think freestyle and toss and fetch should be combined for an overall championship?
Ooh, yeah. I'm not a purist. I like it because you could win toss and fetch and you can win freestyle. And as somebody that like came up in the sport and really sucked at toss and fetch, I only bothered to try at it because there was an overall championship, and I viewed that as like such a showcase of different skills because like Flair's a really great example. Okay, she's awesome, one of the best freestyle dogs ever. Can't catch a toss and fetch, so to save her life. And then you know there's dogs that are really good at toss and fetch and not as good at freestyle. They're two totally different skill sets, and I think that the two ask for a lot of different things and a lot of different things that conflict with each other. Toss and fetch and freestyle. The skills, a lot of them conflict. And dogs and handlers that can do both are just really something else to me, in my opinion.
I really like that answer. Even though my answer is different.
Yeah.
Because you already know I think that they shouldn't be combined. And the reason for it is just because it is very possible for me to go out there, very easy for me to go out there. I'm not going to say easy. I am able to go out and not try very hard in freestyle and win an overall.
Yeah,
because I've done it many times.
To me, I think that that's an issue of the point spread and how the weight is. Like if toss and fetch carries too much weight, then that's a problem.
As soon as you start making it not that the weight of it doesn't matter anymore, then it doesn't matter anymore. Though.
Well, that's right. If you taper down the weight too much, but I don't know. Look at AWI. I mean, they really scaled back the toss and fetch, but it's still a big deal.
No, okay.
UFO too. They did it the other way.
UFO is 4 times. And I think at that point there's no value to the toss and fetch and UFO for the combined. I think there's just no point in having it.
There pretty much is. Yeah, I think there is. Here's the deal though. But you have to so I think you have to be good at toss and fetch to win UFO. You don't have to be the best toss and fetch player. You have to be good, and you have to be the best freestyler. Right? But you can't be bad at toss and fetch. You can't have a complete mess of a toss and fetch and get like 5 points.
Absolutely.
And when you have to be good.
Right.
You have to be getting 15 points, right? So usually.
And you know what again, I've said this before, I'm suggesting changes or rules or ideas that aren't going to help me.
No.
If we split those out, because I have won plenty of freestyle only competitions where there's no toss and fetch as part of it, whether it be pairs freestyle or the disc dogathon freestyle or the IDC or there's a number of them, right? So I have won a number of those, but if we split them apart, I am going to have to try harder now in freestyle to do that.
So
I'm saying I am suggesting something that's not going to help me.
Here is an argument that you'll get me to I would change my mind on my answer for, is that why freestyle and toss and fetch specifically together? And I know why. That's because those are like the first 2 roots of the sport. Toss and fetch was, just your basic throwing the frisbee at the park, and they made it an official game. And then freestyle was kind of like a whole different step of making an artistic routine, right? And then all of these other games are just sort of offshoots. But so I know why. I know why it happened, but I'm saying why now? Why freestyle and toss and fetch? Why not freestyle, toss and fetch, and distance? Why not freestyle, toss and fetch, and bullseye? Why not freestyle, toss and fetch, and time trial? You know what I'm saying? So and the thing is, but then what games do you put in a true overall championship?
Right. And
which games? How do you pick that? How do you pick time trial? I mean, come on. How do you pick that?
But here's the one way you can incorporate those easily, and maybe you can do this in freestyle too, and toss and fetch. I don't know, but basically you're ranking in your freestyle or your toss and fetch or whatever, how many points you get. So if you're in first place, you get 100 points. Second place gets 99. So your actual total makes absolutely no difference.
No, I get that. I get that.
So that is one way to eliminate someone just going out and putting down a DA round like I can and get 30 points.
Or throwing 100 yards and then out pointing everybody, if that's your point.
Same exact thing.
So I get that aspect of that, but I'm saying there's how many games in the sport now?
Yeah.
Right? But there's so many different things. Like FDDO had a bunch of games. Updog has a bunch of games. Skyhounds has a bunch of games. What I'm saying is, how do you choose which games? Because you can't do 25 games to pick an overall champion.
Well, FDDO had 5 total or whatever, and they had an overall champion for them.
I understand, but what I'm saying is, how do so if you want?
Well, UFO doesn't have anything else. USDDN doesn't have anything else.
That's true.
Oh well, UFO does have distance. Sorry,
they do have distance.
I apologize, but it's not at all events and stuff, so that's why I kind of forget about it.
Right.
This is the first time I've seen a detour.
They've had detour the last few years, but they've been out of the country.
I said the first time I've seen it in.
Well, you haven't been to one.
Maybe 10 years.
You haven't been to one in a while. Yeah, they started having it in 2022, I think. So anyway.
So yep, that's
that could be a whole episode, couldn't it? It turns out all these questions really, we should have just made a list and made 20 podcast episodes, huh? Okay, so that was your question.
Yes.
My turn. Oh, we're getting to the end here.
Yeah, last couple.
If you could be somebody else's disc dog, who would you be? And not based off your skills. I'm not saying match your skills to another dog's skills out there. Like if you want the career of another person, it can't be our dogs. So somebody else's dog, who would you, like their career path, like what they've gotten to do, or like, I don't know.
So like a dog, like a real dog that lived or is alive, and I could be that dog and could have done what they did. It's not my dogs though.
It's not either of
our dogs. What dog would I love to be?
Yeah, and they could be alive now, or they could be passed away. Like,
oh man, boy, this is so tough. Oh my god. Okay, I'm picking. Because this is the first thing that's come to mind. What I wanted to pick was a dog that just had an owner absolutely loves them and treats them great. That's the thing I'm thinking of.
I know that's the thing you're thinking of. What I was thinking is more career-based, because I mean, there's a lot of people that in our sport, I would hope everybody, but most people in our sport treat their dogs great, regardless of their career. So that's why I didn't ask that, because, you know,
so you're thinking in terms of like a successful dog.
Then. Yeah, I'm saying like their career. Like, you know, you look at an athlete's career and you're like, wow, like Wayne Gretzky's career is like, that would be something. Like if I had to live another life, that's what I'd want that. So like, what dog career would you want?
Okay.
You got one? I know. Sorry, it's like a little bit of thinking.
I'm thinking,
and there's a lot of dogs.
The dog is. Give me your answer, because I got to think of the dog name. I know the dog. I'm trying to think of the name.
So I kind of have like sort of two. I mean, I think what cooler than to be Ashley Whippet himself.
Oh, that's a great answer.
What a neat experience to be basically the first known Frisbee dog. My other answer, the reason I have two is because the other one is it's this dog adjacent, but it's not really a dog. Is Adrian Stoka's Hurricane, because yes, she's gone and done and had a lot of competition success, but like all of the cool stuff that she's gotten to do, like with her America's Got Talent, she got to perform for the royal family. She got, you know, there's been a lot of stuff that she's done. I think that would be a pretty cool career. So that's kind of just doggy adjacent.
Okay. I have two. Todd's Bella, and that reason is because Bella, for anyone who hasn't seen Bella, I'm so sorry, you got to look up the videos. I have not seen a dog that can do the combination of things that dog can do, with the speed, the jumping, the catching, and make it all look so insanely easy.
Yeah, she never like made a catch look bad.
I never saw her try. Looked like she was trying.
It was effortless for her.
So easy.
And she was effortless.
I mean, we talk about Sketch and Muse and some other dogs that have that kind of thing, but that dog had that athleticism that was above what Sketch and Muse had. You know, just that outright
above Sketch.
Speed.
I don't know, man. Muse to me, in my opinion, is pretty crazy athletic, but Muse didn't have the speed that Bella did. Yeah. Bella had some speed.
So the other one is, I believe it's Peter's Wizard.
Okay.
Peter Bloom's Wizard, because I would have wanted to be able to catch discs from, I think, the best disc player that's ever lived in all sports combined. All disc sports. Peter is the most special athlete disc sports I've ever seen. There's not been another person like him. There's been a lot that have done multiple sports, have been really good. I don't know any of them that have gone into the, except for maybe Mateo, but he didn't do all the things that Peter did. Peter was an overall champion. He was a disc golfer. He was an accuracy champion. He was a distance champion. He set disc dog distance records. And then to be able to do freestyle with him, that's who I want him throwing to me.
Okay. So you picked because of the handle, but
but the other was for the dog. That's why I picked two.
Yes, that is kind of, well, I mean, you probably
not that I wouldn't want Todd to throw for me, but
no. I didn't even think of the question in that way. So that's really interesting.
So, how long? This is tough. This is painful for me. How long do you think you'll be competing?
Oh,
at a high level, not just going out and having fun or doing it, but like traveling, chasing championships. You know. The grueling schedules, the training, and all that.
So this is a really interesting question for me, because my plan was to stop being competitive when Torch was done. I got a dog. Well, I had multiple dogs. I had Sketch and then Flash, and they were both really good. And then I got another dog, Torch. Well, I had Blitz too, but I got another dog, Torch, that was really good. And to me, it was like, wow, I've got such a special dog. I need to put the effort in. And not that, like, if my dog wasn't competitive, it's a different kind of effort. It's not like I'm not going to play with him. I play with the dog, but, you know, I'm not going to go out there and drill throws. You know, if maybe my dog's a little bit more casual or chill, or, you know, not as into it. You know, we're just going to play for fun, and I'm not going to, you know, train like crazy myself. And right now I have Sora and Flair that are really, really good. And Link's a baby. I mean, he's 2.5, but he's still kind of a baby and he acts like a baby and he's really silly. And I don't really have any expectations for him on being competitive. I think he's got a lot of pieces that make him a really good dog. Is he going to be competitive? Is he going to, is he going to be consistent? Am I going to want to spend a lot of money to go travel around and drive around and fly around and do all of that? I don't know. And so for me, my view of the sport is my goal is always where my dog is. It's appropriate to my dog. So it depends on the dog that I have. And if I get another dog and that dog is, not as interested or just like whatever, or, just having fun, not as intense or serious, then maybe I'm not playing. So there's no hard stop for me. I could totally see it being like an ebb and flow kind of thing where maybe I get dogs that, they love playing, they can't catch to save their lives. And no, I'm probably not going to fly across the world to go to a world championship unless I'm just going there to hang out.
But I guess what I'm saying is a hard stop where you're like, okay, I'm not going to play anymore at this point in time.
Oh,
just because you're done with it.
But I think that's not going to happen. I think maybe it depends on the dog that I get. So if I felt like I didn't want to play anymore, I would then no longer get any more dogs that would want to play. And then with my luck, what would happen is I'd get some little Chihuahua terrier, some kind of spirit looking dog who's my rescue terrier that wasn't supposed to play Frisbee and then decided he was going to grab him off the counter anyway and bring him to me and say, no, we're playing. So with my luck, I'd probably end up with a dog like that. I think I'm going to be like, a foot in the grave and still playing. And I'll be out there. You guys are all going to have to wait 20 minutes while I wheel out there in my walker and, hold on, get the timer, say go, get it, say go. And then they're going to have to yell at it. I mean, I'm really going to be a pain in the ass when I'm old and, I'm going to get out there.
Then you're going to be a pain in the ass.
Hey, get out of here. It all depends on my dogs. That's the deal. I've got really killer dogs right now. They're awesome. I think Link's gonna be really good.
I see a pattern to a lot of these questions. Your answers versus mine.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my answer.
Yeah. What's yours?
9 years.
Okay, why?
Because I think
you're gonna be old.
I'm already old, but I think I won't be able to do it after that.
So is 9 years because Cheeky will be like 10?
Has nothing to do with the dogs. It has to do with me being unable to do it anymore.
All right. Well, cool. When you retire, I'll take whatever dogs you have then.
No, you won't. Well, I'll train.
Are you saying you're not going to get any more dogs?
No, I'll have more dogs, but yeah, I won't be competing.
I'll take Cheeky.
9 years.
Okay, so when Cheeky's 10, I get her.
By the way, there's no promises on that if we look back on this, but I mean, I just have.
Oh no, that's set in stone.
I could see my body crumbling, and I can see at 9 years it's finally going to be gone. It's like I feel like I'm on an empty tank right now, but everyone out there who has a car had an empty tank. And it's blaring at you. You need to get a phone.
You make it to the gas station.
You just keep going. Sometimes you skip it. You're like, you know what? I'm going to go get the food first, then go do this and do that, and then I'm going to finally get.
It's more convenient. The gas station is way over there.
So right now, it's more convenient for me just to keep going, even though I feel like the tank's empty. All right, your last question.
It is my last question. I don't know why I'm looking at my screen because I think I know what the question is already. What might people find surprising about you?
It has nothing to do with Frisbee, right? Just whatever.
It could be whatever. You could interpret that. I left that open. You can interpret that. Disc dog adjacent would be a good answer, but whatever you want to say. Yeah,
okay. You know what? It will be disc dog adjacent because
we can find plenty of surprises that have nothing to do with disc dog.
I intentionally put up a bit of a front to make myself look like a total asshole because.
Wait, really? That's just I just thought you were.
I'm an extreme introvert, and I figure if I put off this vibe of I don't want you around me, that helps my introvertedness.
Oh.
So it is a thing. I think it took me a long time to figure out why I act like an asshole a lot of times, and it's because I generally want people to leave me alone. But that doesn't mean I'm out of competition. I don't want you to talk to me. See, that's the thing. my natural thing is just to put on a vibe.
This is like the first question.
To just like have everyone leave me alone because I'm an introvert and I want to be left alone generally. But I think I'm a little bit better about that now than I used to be. So you can come up and talk to me. Well, I've had people tell me they're intimidated to come up and talk to me, and I've even said to them, "Good, that's how I want you to be. So, I want you to think twice before you waste my time."
Oh my god!
I don't know how else to say it. It's just but I'm actually can be a very nice person.
Well,
I think
when you did the personality test, what was your percentage of introvert?
I don't
remember?
I thought it was like 95%.
Because I was 98.
Okay, so we're about the same.
Yeah.
We were So it's just
I got the same problem. I'm just nicer.
I can go out in front of a crowd of people and do a speech. I've done it. I've done training sessions, not even Frisbee, just with my work or something like that.
We sure talk a lot in this podcast.
I've spoke in auditoriums and things like that. I could do all those kinds of things.
You? Really?
Yeah, absolutely. I've done plenty of things. I've done presentations and things like that. I could do that stuff like it's nothing because I know how to do it. But at the same time, I don't want to go out talking to people and hanging out with people. So when you see me not hanging out and going to all these dinners and all this stuff, I don't want to be around people all the time. It's just too much for me. And when I'm done with a competition, I have seen enough people.
Dude, I'm wasted after. Years. I'm wasted.
So I got to go away. As soon as the competition's done, I'm like, later, guys, I'm out of here because I'm done. I need to just go to sleep or just relax, have a glass of wine kind of thing.
Okay.
So what about yours? Your answer to that? I'm very curious.
Mine is, I think I should just read it because
Good.
I can't talk without reading it.
You want me to read it?
If all dogs vanished from the earth, I would never throw a disc again. I have no interest in disc at all. Only the dogs.
I totally get that.
People have asked me, why don't you do professional disc golf or all that? And nothing against those that do, or people that play disc golf, or they invite me to play disc golf. And I've played before, not to say that I haven't done that. It just doesn't really do anything for me. Like, I don't care as much as I preach about like throwing and as far as improving in the sport, that throwing is such a big component of that. I don't have passion just for the disc in itself. And I will learn from people that do freestyle without dogs. I will watch people. I enjoy what they're doing. It's fun to watch. I think there's a great entertainment value for me. I get something out of it because I'm also inspired by what they're doing, that maybe I could find a way to do that with my dog. But I don't really have any interest in playing Frisbee on its own without a dog involved. Every throw that I make at the park is intended for a dog.
And I knew that would be your answer, but I knew that's how you felt.
You knew my stance on it.
So is there now we're going to start talking about, well, this doesn't have to be throwing. Is there a skill, a throw, a move, or a trick that you would like to master? So it could be something that maybe you just have never done, something you don't think you're very good at doing, that you just, like, if you could just snap your finger, you could do it, and it's now your perfect trick.
Oh God!
Especially something that's common that people get, like people know. Like,
I mean, I'd love to do the nail delay thing, but we already know. We've been there, done that. We tried that. I don't know. God, that's a hard one. I do think just being able to place any disc closely, like in any variation or any grip or any which way around your body, that skill in and of itself is, for me, it's very challenging because I have T-Rex arms and I can't get my arm around my leg.
That's something I'm really good at.
Yeah, you're good at that. I know. I've given you some of my friggin' ideas because I couldn't do them with my T-Rex arms. But also just like placing the disc so specifically, I think I'm okay at it, but I don't think I'm like one of the best. Like, I'd love to be able to do more like dish spin type things and just place it perfectly. Somebody who I feel like is really good at that skill is Oscar from Colombia. He's really, really good at like just precisely placing those, like any little type of throw like that, for a vault or a dog catch or flip, like, anything close by. He's really good at that. I'd like that skill.
So
what about you?
What do you think mine is?
I don't know. You want to do a cartwheel out there? I don't know. Back handspring?
So mine is overs.
No, actually, that's interesting. If I thought about it for 5 seconds more, maybe I could have come up with that.
But and the reason might not be obvious. Okay, I don't do overs with my dogs. I have done them in the past.
You haven't in the last several years.
Long time, over 10 years.
Yeah.
Here's the reason why. I don't like doing them. So for this particular one, I'd like to master it, or I'd like to just snap my fingers and just be able to do it, and maybe find that I could have some interest in doing it. I don't care about overs. They aren't fun to me. I don't enjoy them.
Why?
I don't like them.
Why is it?
I was trying to figure out why, and I realized why. I feel like there's a disconnect between me and the dog. Once I throw it and then the dog disappears over me, I know you can do somewhere, you can see him or whatever, but and all the overs I did, I was able to see my dog. But for the most part, when I think of overs, I think of like over your back or some kind of way. There's going to be somewhere where the dog kind of disappears. And whenever that happens, I feel this disconnect. And I'm guessing that's why. But here's the thing. When I'm judging, I love seeing them. I love watching other people do them. I don't care that I could look cool doing them. I don't enjoy them. I don't enjoy doing the throw. I don't enjoy it when my dog disappears, because the way I'd want to do it, I'd want to have the dog coming over or from behind me or whatever. I'm going to lose track of them, and I lose interest in it. And so I like to snap my fingers and just suddenly love it and then be doing it, But I'm not going to work on it because I don't want to do it. I have no interest in it. I have no desire.
Go. Let's do a training session. Let's go. We're going to whip you into shape. You're going to do some overs.
So those were
You better learn how to do overs for Flair's pairs. Yeah, that's one of the things on her list she can do.
And I have a bonus question, but we're not going to answer it because
wait, what?
This is a tough one. This is a really tough one. I just wanted to throw it out there because I don't know. I don't have an answer.
Okay.
What hasn't been done in this sport? You know, that's just like almost like a rhetorical question, because I don't know how to. It's an interesting one.
Not just in competition. You think the sport as a whole.
Yes, and I had that, and it could be in competition, maybe. I don't know. It's however you want to interpret it. I had that question in there, and I'm thinking, well, I don't have an answer for this, so I took it out. Just an interesting one to think of. I wonder if we could do a podcast and just start brainstorming and throwing out ideas about what hasn't been done.
Maybe that could be a podcast episode.
Yeah, interesting. I got some ideas of things we could talk about, but I don't know what the answers would be,
Yeah, that's one I'd have to think about. I don't think that's a good blind question.
Yeah,
that's
right.
not a good blind question. That's a good episode, though, if we think about it for more than 3 seconds.
Yeah, so interesting, huh?
Yeah, I think that would be a good one. Then maybe we could talk about, growing the sport and
there's so many different
things that haven't been done.
Kind of games, ways to incorporate the dogs in the disc, ways to do pairs, things like that that are.
I actually had somebody just approach me with a new idea for pairs toss and fetch, a different idea that sounded very interesting.
Yeah. So that was just my little hot take. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, we'll have to do a whole another episode on that. That seems like our saying. Like every time we talk about something cool, we're like, let's do a whole other episode. Anyway. So, I think that's going to wrap up our blind questions. Hopefully you learned something about us today, or just learn something. Or you wasted all your time.
Yeah, sorry.
Oops, sorry. But hopefully we'll see you on the next one. And what has this been?
The Disc Dog Pod.
Oh,
we nailed it!
Bye.